Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're doing they're giving you an attitude but are genuinely impressed. So why? And I think we all encounter these types of people in our lives, and we wonder why they give us an attitude even though they seem to be genuinely impressed. You see it, through an action or a look, one way or the other, So this is the reading for this topic today, and we are going to be picking 4 piles together for this reading. So for pile number 1, that's already ready. What do we have? This is a tarot, but I want you to focus on the picture. We're not going to take the meaning of the tarot card, I promise. So take a look at the picture. This is for pile number 1. I just find the pictures on this deck to be super interesting, and I believe it'll really service it'll be really of service for this specific reading. This is for pile 2. And for pile number 3, we have, okay, that's ready. For pile number 3, we have this picture. And for pile number 4, we have, okay, that's ready. Thank you very much. We have this picture. So here, guys, take a look at which of these 4 piles you're the most drawn to, and that's probably the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, or if you perhaps feel drawn to all the piles, trust your intuition. It will always guide you to the right readings for you. As usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times, and I'll see you in your readings. I've lowered the light a little bit so you can have a better look at them. Again, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Hi, pile number 1. So you've chosen this beautiful picture here. And right away, what I can see for you, pile number 1, the reason they're giving you an attitude but they're genuinely impressed is because it seems like with you, pile number 1, the grass is always greener on your side. And so there's a lot of comparison here. If you have something and they have something else, they're always looking at what you have. And believe me, pile number 1, what I see here for you is that even if they take what you have and you decide to take on what they had, they will still be focusing on what you have. It's all about what you want to have, what you own, who you are. Because to them, pile number 1, you seem like a very elevated person. To them, you seem like you are socially higher one way or the other. Perhaps you are more educated than them. I don't want to say perhaps. It really does show that you are really more educated than them. It seems like you know how to take care of yourself. You are poised and classy. You have this regal air to you that you cannot miss, pile number 1. And this is why there's this comparison here going on, where they feel like everything you hold, everything that you do is so much better. And sometimes I feel for you here, because sometimes I feel you get a little bit frustrated. For example, if you find that they're constantly competing themselves in a competition with you, and they feel like, oh, are you going to do this first? No, I'm going to do it first. I'm going to be the one to do that first. And so as the graceful person that you are, you're not really attached to these things, and you let them have it first so that you don't get the headache. And then when they do get it first, they're still not satisfied, pile number 1. And it really boggles you. You don't know what to do anymore. Frankly, nothing is making them calm and satisfied. Nothing is calming them down. Nothing is making them happy, and it seems like you are the problem for them. It's just what you are and what you have, frankly, is the problem here. Pile number one. They love your class, they love your elegance for sure. They love how highly you carry yourself. They feel a little bit inferior to you because you seem like you have very high self-esteem. You enjoy who you are, and I think that's mainly the problem here. The people you're inquiring about here, they do not love themselves, unfortunately. They don't have high self-esteem, and they really secretly look up to you a lot, and due to the constant comparison that they have in their head, they're not happy, and it doesn't look like they're going to be happy anytime soon. Pile number one. It is something that they have to deal with. I would advise you to keep a distance from these people because it doesn't look like they're going to change. In order for them to be happy, pile number one, with you here, they must, and I'm saying here happy very loosely, but that's what they're striving towards. In order for them to feel a little bit satisfied, they have to be much better than you, or convince themselves that they're much better than you, and then they have to put you down so low, and only then perhaps they might just feel a little bit better. Pile number one. So I'm so sorry about that, but it does look like, pile number one, you hold yourself and you hold your head up high. You love yourself. You're one of the people who truly loves themselves and respects themselves, and you're all about growing and reaching your goals, and you're just focused on your lane and focused on yourself, and you exude beautiful energy, beautiful classy energy from you, pile number one. I love that about you. Okay, we're gonna move on and get your tarot cards now. I also see dragonflies here for you in your card. And this is an air element, giving me an idea that another reason why they're genuinely impressed by you is your mind, pile number one. They think you're very smart, you're very mentally stable. You come up with a lot of balanced ideas, is what I'm getting. I think, no, not I think. I know what I'm seeing here for you, pile number one, is that since you're very honest with yourself and you have this high self-esteem that allows you to be honest with yourself, it allows you to honestly tell yourself where you need to improve, or what's actually right and what's actually wrong. You don't need to defend the wrong things about you, and this gives you balance in thought. This allows you to think cerebrally, and obviously your opinions come out smart and balanced because of this thinking process. And they're genuinely impressed, pile number one, about how you're able to think this way. Your ideas are always crisp and clear. They're so smart and balanced. They hit the nail on the head. And that's another thing about you that they compare themselves with here, and they feel like they couldn't do that. They just couldn't think the way that you do. In fact, when they're alone, they constantly think about the things that you said. They constantly think, how would you act in certain situations? What would your opinion be? Because they really do put you on a pedestal, pile number one. Secretly, they really do. They may not show it to you, but they definitely do, pile number one. Okay. Oh my God, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, of course. They see you as a very fortunate person, pile number one. In fact, they would love to be in your place. I'm not exaggerating here when I'm saying these people that are giving you this attitude, they would love to be who you are. They would love to be in your place. They would love to have what you have. It's like you're their golden egg here. yes, they believe that you're a very fortunate, lucky person deep down in their heart. And maybe they bring you down, maybe they talk bad about you behind your back, maybe they try to criticize you a lot. But deep down, pile number one, if they had the chance to be in your place, take your life, take you and take who you are, they would do it in a heartbeat. Pile number one. In fact, I believe here, you looking the other side, you just don't realize and understand just how much they think highly of you and how much time they spend comparing themselves to you, comparing your life to you, comparing the way you think to you, and it just drags them down. And this is why you are confused and taking a look at this reading, because this whole bad attitude that you're getting is actually stemming, and I'm not defending them here by all means. Number one, I'm just explaining the situation to you. Stems from deep admiration to you, but at the same time it stems from deep hate. Hate is a strong word. Hate towards themselves, perhaps, for not being on par and wanting to feel like they are much, much better than you are. Pile number one. Oh, that turned very deep here. I'm sorry for them, and I'm sorry for you, pile number one, as well. I wish they would heal, and I wish you all the best of luck, because you seem like a very graceful person. You don't spend too much time dwelling on their energy or dwelling on what other people think, whether it's good or whether it's bad. I mean, of course you feel flattered. You're very balanced here. You feel flattered, but at the same time, you're not labeling yourself with it. You don't go up with compliments and you don't go down with criticism. People can think what they want to think. You take the feedback that serves you and you move on. Pile number one. Which is another thing that they're genuinely impressed about. They see that you don't care. They genuinely see it. They give you a lot of criticism. They try to put you down. They try to play manipulative games where they tell you, oh, well, you do this because you're this and this and that. And to you, pile number one, you genuinely don't care about these labels. And so to you, you give this added nonchalant idea of, okay, you can think whatever you want to think. And it really surprises them how highly you think of yourself and how you're not manipulated. You genuinely seem like a person who doesn't care about criticism, and this shows your amount of confidence and how much you love yourself, and it's definitely something that they are absolutely impressed about. Pile number one. What did we say? Of course, judgment. So pile number one, with the judgment here, you have the snake, and judgment is all about rising from your current situation. The snake as well is all about changing skin, developing beautiful skin. And so maybe you have beautiful skin, pile number one. Now moving on to what I wanted to say, you have major arcana here all over. It's unbelievable. Yes, they hold you in very high regards, pile number one. With the judgment now, back to what I wanted to say, they have seen you change a lot, pile number one. They've seen you go through a lot of transformational phases in your life, perhaps in a short time or over a long time. They constantly see you upgrade, and while they're trying to keep up with you, because that's the way they think, they try to prove that they're better, they try to up you, they try to put in the effort, which is good. At least they're trying to improve. By the time they try to prove to themselves that they are on your level or maybe a little bit better, they convince themselves that they're a little bit better, you've already taken leaps. And that is one of the things that festers a lot of despise, but at the same time, it makes them super impressed. I'm envisioning, oh my God, how did pile number one, I see open mouths, flabbergasted at how you were capable of doing what they thought was the impossible, because where you were to start with seemed impossible. And it seems to them like they just can't keep up. When you're quiet, pile number one, when you don't show up too much, when you're busy, they are worried, because it seems like you're cooking something. It seems like you're up to something, coming with a surprise. You don't talk too much, and they feel it coming. They feel like you're gonna pop up with another new surprise. And it just drives them crazy. They feel worried when you're not around, when you're not showing up, when you're all in your little cave cooking up something, because they're like, oh no, they're probably gonna make another blow up here. Pile number one. So I'm so sorry about that for these people. But pile number one, it looks like everything that you do seems to, do you see the star here in the judgment card? Like a dream come true to them. So here, two things happen. First of all, they're thinking, oh my God, these type of things from their point of view only seem to happen to the very lucky people, or to in movies perhaps. To you, pile number one, that's not the way you think. To you, dreams and your ambition, for you, the sky's the limit here. You believe you can do, if you have a dream, you go after it, and that's what you're made out of. To them, do you see the shock here? And to them, they're really flabbergasted, because what you're doing seems like it's something that you would hear in stories, and it would really be shocking to watch. So perhaps you would appear on the television, or you'd start a social media page, or you'd maybe open your a business, or go scuba diving. I don't know. You do, you go traveling. You do big things in comparison to what they think is big. Not to you, pile number one. And it really opens up their eyes. So that's the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens pertains to opening up their eyes, like I just mentioned. When you do these things, pile number one, you truly open up their eyes to what is possible in life. What they thought was impossible suddenly becomes possible, and you become an inspiration to them. You actually, pile number one, kudos to you, inspire the people around you to think big. They think as big as you do, never higher, but hey, at least they're thinking big, right? That's a good thing. And you start opening up their eyes to, what else can I do? I mean, if pile number one appeared on the television, if pile number one went to talk to these people, started mingling with these types of people, you name it, got hired in this type of job, was able to buy these things, was able to save up and do that, you name it. I can do the same too. And you find that they try to save up, and they try to imitate you, and they try to work on themselves. And pile number one, to you, my sweet lovely viewers, you are happy for them, and you're happy they got inspired. If anything, pile number one, you just want them off your back. I'm so sorry about that, pile number one. And I truly admire you. Thank you for being so balanced and being a great example to the people around you, pile number one. Okay. Another thing that I see here for you is that you seem unbothered. Two cards came up towards the end of the reading. You seem unbothered, and while that is something that ignites their bad attitude towards you, it makes them even more angry. They're very impressed by how unbothered you are about everything that they're trying to do, because usually these low vibrational manipulative techniques. They work on most people, but it doesn't seem to work on you. And while that really makes them feel out of control, imbalanced, angry, they are genuinely impressed about how you're unbothered, because they wish they could be unbothered the way that you are, pile number one. Wow, how these two showed up towards the end of your reading here. Of course, you have the Harvest of Wands, which is the Page of Wands here. And you have the Ace of Wands. So look at this, pile number one. The Ace is the beginning of the Wand suit, and the King of Wands is the end of the Wand suit. And one of the things that they're truly impressed about you is how you are capable of starting something and taking it all the way and finishing it and achieving what you want. It's one of the things that truly impresses them, and I think you push them out of their comfort zone to try and imitate you. They're not quite like you yet at all. They're not as determined as you are. I wish them all the best. I hope they become determined. But it's something that seems nearly astrological to them, alien-like, to begin something, a big dream, and actually achieving the impossible from their point of view, pile number one. So pile number one, that was your reading. Super impressive. I'll even put the beginning and the end here, which marks the beautiful person that you are. It was an honor doing this reading for you, pile number one. And if you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number two. So this is the picture that you've chosen. And straight away, what I can tell you, why they're giving you an attitude, but are genuinely impressed by you, because you seem to come across as a rebel, pile number two. You have a very strong character. You're not afraid to voice out your opinion. You're not afraid to be at the center stage and be admired by other people, tell your stories confidently. And because you're so admired, a lot of you actually are alpha personalities. You have such a strong character to you, such a strong presence, and the people you are inquiring about are very jealous about that. They try to prove that they are the strong ones. They try to prove that they are the ones who have this strong character, but by trying to beat you down. But they constantly are surprised by your comebacks. They're constantly surprised what strong boundaries you have, what witty comebacks that you have, how courageous you are, how you never leave your rights. I mean, you don't want to harm people, but if they cross their limits, they're sure gonna get it, for sure. And this is what fosters this anger and resentment, giving you this bad attitude. But to be honest here, they do deserve it, because they can try to be who they are without putting you down here. You're unbothered, again, pile number two. To you, they don't really exist that much. They're not causing any threat to you, any threats to you. They are the ones who are reliving what's happening, trying to take your place, trying to take the spotlight, trying to constantly prove like they are the ones who are worthy of this attention, like they are the alphas. But it seems like they're not really capable of grasping it. They wouldn't be fighting that much if they can do it, pile number two. In all cases, you don't seem like you are bothered or you care at all. You know your position, you know your character, and you do it effortlessly. And this is where the problem starts. They have this, they foster this resentment because they have to put up a front. They have to constantly sit and think. Instead of trying to be an active member, all they can think about is how to put you down, how to criticize you as you're talking, where to find the wrongs in what you're saying. how to make fun of you. Of course, these things do not work, but that's what they're trying to do. And they put so much effort into trying to do that, that they appear as weak. They don't appear as entertaining. Everyone can see there's bitterness. Everyone can feel their energy. And in order for them to truly be the person that they admire here, which is you, they have to do what you're doing. Focus, be in their lane, and genuinely be the spotlight. Being focused on what you want to say, what is funny for you. You're just a really good entertainer. You have a strong character, and people love your boldness, by the way, pile number 2. You have this forgiving boldness. You can call someone off. You can give someone this strong look that comes off as very charming. And people forgive you for these things. They find it very charming. And they watch you do these things. They watch people's reactions towards you, and they're mind boggled. They really hate it. They think you don't deserve all this love that you're getting, and that people are misunderstanding you. Perhaps they're trying to make you come off as putting on a show, and that they're the real deal. They talk a lot behind your back. They try to put you down. But at the end of the day, pile number 2, you are well loved. Nobody's really giving that much attention to them. They seem very petty. They don't seem as the alpha that they're trying to display. And so they're not really getting the stage here, pile number 2. So this is the main reason why they're giving you an attitude. But why they're genuinely impressed by you. So they may not show you. They criticize a lot. They try to show how much they're unimpressed. But deep down, pile number 2, they are very impressed with your skills. And perhaps they didn't even admit it to themselves. But if we were to look at their energy, they're too focused on your energy. They watch you too much. They observe what you're doing too much. They worry about you too much. They think about what you're up to, what you're going to do, how people are going to respond. They might lie to themselves constantly, telling themselves that you do not deserve this attention, you do not deserve this love, that they deserve it. They can lie to themselves all they want. But at the end of the day, this is what they're seeing, and this is not what they can embody. Perhaps if they focus on themselves a little bit, and being a genuine person, a real person, trying to show who they are instead of show how bad other people are, perhaps other people would give them attention as well. Pile number 2. They try to convince themselves that they are stronger than you, that they're more alpha than you. But deep down, they're actually quite... Whoa. Okay, we'll just take this one. You have 4 already. But deep down, they are actually intimidated by you. They don't know what you're going to say next. You always come back with witty comebacks that puts them down, puts them in their place. They never stop. They try again. But it's coming from a place of jealousy and comparison. And I think once they say it, what I'm feeling here is they instantly regret it. Part of them is happy they put you down, and then another part of them instantly regrets it because they know you're just gonna bash them straight away. Pile number 2, and deservingly. I mean, no one should be sitting around trying to put someone down all the time, right? So they really bring it upon themselves here. All right, so pile number 2, all this strength and alpha that you have, I admire that about you. I love how confident and vibrant and strong and charming you are, pile number 2. No wonder why they are genuinely impressed by you, frankly. In fact, with your tattoo here, I see the biggest tattoo is love. And it seems like you attract a lot of admiration towards you. pile number 2. Even everyone around you genuinely loves you. They are mesmerized by you. They find you a charmer. And secretly, of course, even the people you're inquiring about, the person you're inquiring about, they are genuinely charmed by you as well. They imitate you in a lot of ways, which shows truly deep down how much they admire you, even if they're not being honest with themselves and telling themselves about it. Pile number 2. Okay, so you have the Root of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands. Yes, of course. The Knight of Wands is the charmer, the talker. Is exactly you. If we were to actually give you a tarot card, pile number 2, you are the Knight of Wands. You're passionate. You are a great communicator, a great entertainer, and of course, you're also too hot to handle. No one can really come near you because they're gonna get burned. And that really sums up the whole idea, the main idea, as to why this person is genuinely impressed by you. They see you as the Nine of Wands, whether they admit it or not. And as you see in comparison here, they try to embody this energy, but they fail because the Knight of Wands is nonchalant. They believe in themselves and they don't compare themselves to other people. That's the sort of energy that they have around them. And in order for them to be the Knight of Wands, what I feel energetically, they have to learn so many skills that you have. They have to learn your wit, your charm, your self-love, so many things. It's not about bashing other people. And that's why being focused on themselves is the reason why they are the Knight of Wands. Focused, and I don't mean selfish here. I mean focused on having fun on the inside and not focused on other people. Pile number 2. They see you as feisty, with passion, but they can find you to be a little bit too sure of yourself sometimes, and this is where they feel like they can come in and hit you, and as the theme of your reading, they get it back. Pile number 2. Poor person here. Yeah, it's gonna take time for them to learn. I think what I feel energetically here, that at some point they're gonna feel like they need to be honest with themselves. One of two things is gonna happen here. Either you're going to have a person who finally admits that they have a lot to learn from you, and they will admit it to themselves and admire you and start kind of you being using you like their adept and being your student, learning and getting advice from you. Or you'll get someone who's just constantly being burned out, angry, trying to get your place, and will never take your place with the bars here. They just won't. Pile number 2, they'll be really ending up burning themselves out. Whether they admit it or not, pile number 2, they secretly learn a lot from you. They find you confident, energetic, full of life. They learn how to have power, how to be bold, watching you. They try it out sometimes. So you really are actually an adept to them, where they're really a student. This is the place that they're in at the moment, even though they haven't admitted it to themselves. They watch you do things and they try it out with other people and other groups, but they also try to do it here. Pile number 2. They learn a lot from you. They don't, unconsciously, they don't feel like they are at all on your level, but they are. It's a phase in their lives where they're going to be learning how to be a sunflower like you, how to shine and be bold and confident, how to do that from you, pile number 2. They're truly learning a lot from you. In fact, they're projecting their criticism onto what they're actually doing. Does that even make sense? They're projecting the criticism. The criticism they give you is a projection, because if they think you're too self-assured sometimes, this is what they're doing. They try to criticize you, they try to be bold sometimes and hit you instead of charming other people. And that is coming from a place of being too self-assured here, because they get hit back and they just don't learn. And the reason they don't learn, pile number 2, is because they want your place so bad. It's such a silly game here. I'm so sorry, but it is what it is, right? They're too focused on wanting your place that they don't focus on how they're gonna hit back. They're just so focused on this one thing that they want so bad. And if they do take, they won't be able to handle with confidence like you. They won't know what to do with it. But they just want it so bad. And the only thing they can do at the moment is hit you, pile number 2. Not that you care at all. I bet you're watching this entertaining yourself. Pile number 2. So you have the 10 of Stones here. And what a nice depiction of the 10 of Stones. So with the 10 of Stones here, I see someone being happy where happy where they are in life. They've achieved what they want. And whether or not this is entirely true, pile number 2, this is what they think. They also compare themselves to what you have in life. Perhaps your job, your financial situation, your family, your health, your body, you name it. They think you are blessed in so many ways, and they think that this is where they are falling very short behind. They're very jealous of that. Perhaps you're thinking, but I haven't achieved all the things that I want. Or maybe you do feel like you've achieved the things that you want. Either case, we're looking at their energy here. And what they're seeing is that you're absolutely blessed in so many ways. They see you as someone who is in a leading position, a leader, a manager, an owner of a business, or someone who has the potential of creating all these things. And that's where they're truly, focused here, pile number 2. This is where they genuinely have admitted to themselves that you are better. They hate admitting that, but they do look at the things that you have. They're quite jealous of it. They feel like they cannot achieve what you have at the moment, perhaps one day, but where you both are in your life now, they feel like this is too much of an achievement for them to even think about at the moment. And this is where they feel like they're genuinely impressed, but at the same time it fosters a lot of anger, because it makes them, due to the comparison that they have in their head, it makes them unfortunately feel much smaller, less than, and it intimidates them a lot, pile number 2. They really feel like you have a happy life, and they feel like you have it all with your social status here, your confidence, your boldness, your communication skills, and what you've achieved in life. It makes them feel very small, and they cannot stop comparing themselves to your life or to who you are, pile number 2. So you have the 5 of Stones here, which is the 5 of Pentacles. What I see here is someone abandoning their lives and what they should focus on and how they can change and improve, and focusing too much on yours, pile number 2. They're so focused on your life. They're so curious about it. They're so wondering what you're up to, what you're doing, and it really weirds you out, pile number 2. You're very focused on your own life. You're focused on creating the life that you want. And just like, oh, what was the fish called? Nima? The fish? apologies, please let me know down in the comment section. I just blanked out here channeling. I forgot the name of the fish. It says keep on swimming. What was the name of the fish? What's wrong with me? Yeah, you know what I mean. So you're in your own lane. You're happy in your life to a great extent, at least with the things that you're trying to achieve, who you are as a person. Whether your life has troubles or not, you're really focused on yourself. You're happy with yourself and who you are, and you're really like eked out about how curious they are about your life. They try to take a peek here and there. They're wondering what you're up to, of course. Yeah, they come across as very curious and too focused when they should be focused on their lives. And you're just wondering, like, we're not really friends here. Why are you so what's the word? Why are you so obsessed about my life and what I'm doing? We're not friends. And you can personally see that obsession, pile number 2, and it stems from them, whether they say it to themselves or not, being genuinely impressed by you, by who you are as a character and what you're able to achieve and your world in general. Pile number 2. Ooh, I love this card. This is the 7 of Wands here. I mean, do we even need to explain this? Pile number 2. This instantly reminds me of Game of Thrones with the Red Witch here. Burning everything down, burning cities down, burning people all the time, burn even the king's daughter, and then regretting it later. And so this is the biggest difference between them and you, pile number 2, why they are genuinely impressed by you. And this is the core difference between the both of you. One is actually charismatic, bold and strong, and the other person trying to burn everything down just to appear like they know a thing or two. Pile number 2. So kudos to you, pile number 2. I love your calm, bold character. I'm sorry about what you have to face here. I wish them the best. I wish that they would heal and grow. So pile number 2, kudos to you. That was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. So you've chosen this beautiful picture here, and I'm getting a lot of understanding about why the person you're inquiring about feels the way that they do, why they give you an attitude but are genuinely impressed. With you, pile number 3, I feel like they're too afraid to admit that you have better advantages here. So with all these butterflies flying here, there could be so many different reasons why. So for some of you, perhaps there's a lot of traveling going on. Maybe you are someone who comes from another culture to them, someone who they feel has rich culture, someone who's probably traveled a lot, or someone who has one benefit or the other socially that is bringing a lot of attention to them, and they feel like it's not fair, because if they start acting the way that you do, or do the things or say the things that you do socially, it won't be okay for them. That's what I'm hearing, to do what you're doing. Because since you're different, since you come from another place, or your culture is different, or you hold a very strong benefit to you, perhaps you're very attractive, it's one thing or the other that allows you to do something socially, whereas they can't, because other people are going to look down on them for acting like you. So that's one of the strong reasons here for you, pile number 3, while they feel like, why they're giving you an attitude, but being genuinely impressed. They do as well watch your blessings. They do watch perhaps your beauty, you seem like there's richness to you. You have a lot of things to look at, a rich culture as well. You do a lot of things differently. You have a very different life, and you hold it dear. You have your special routines, and it's just completely different than what this person is used to. And they like to observe you a lot, and they like to watch you do what you do. You seem very different, is the word that I'm getting. Difference and a lot of richness to you. So many different things about you. You might even come from the same culture, but you perhaps involve yourself in a lot of hobbies and readings, and there's something very unique about you that makes this person feel like you're a very interesting person. Your life is so interesting to them. They don't want to admit it because it seems like there are leaps and leaps. Do you see how big this girl seems on top of a lake and the scene that she's in? You seem too big, too much of an interesting person for them. And they themselves, even though they are giving you an attitude, they cannot stop looking at you. Pile number 3. They cannot. The things that you have brings butterflies to them. It's like a dream come true if they can have it. Even, in fact, when they get to experience it with you, they may not show it to you, but they're really impressed. I'm also getting, you take very good care of yourself. You're very groomed. You're very attractive. And it's one of the things that they're genuinely impressed about. But at the same time, they give you an attitude here because they don't want to admit it. They feel like you are very proud of who you are, pile number 3, and that you have a lot of advantages to you that are ready to be popped, and you getting a lot out of life because of what you have. Perhaps they think, this person, he or she, perhaps they think that you're going to land a good job one day, find a great person. They think you're going to have so much blessings because of the blessings that you hold. The uniqueness to you is exactly why they are impressed, secretly impressed. And they feel like it's a little bit unfair because they're not going to have all these advantages, these amazing advantages that you have. They feel like you are well loved, pile number 3. And the thing is here, they can't really talk badly behind your back because you seem like a genuine person who loves everyone else. You seem positive, you seem confident, but at the same time loving. People will not believe the things that they will try to say about you. Since you're very well loved, and it makes it very hard for them to spread rumors about you or to say any negative comments about you or to play games in this area because you're very well respected. People genuinely like you, and it's just truly unfair to them from their point of view that you get all these unfair from their point of view unfair advantages. But at the same time, pile number 3, they themselves cannot stop looking at the different things that you have, your culture, your uniqueness, you're just super unique, pile number 3. And it seems there's a lot of interesting things about you, the way you groom yourself, the way you talk, how you look, who you are as a person. You're very interesting. And I feel like sometimes they tell themselves, oh, well, I'm better at this, or I'm better at that, I have this and that. Where in your pile number 3, I genuinely feel like the person who's comparing themselves to you here, who's giving you an attitude, they do have interesting things about you that they're proud of, to be quite frank. But they usually get attention. But with you, they feel like their light is dim. It doesn't shine. They feel like you really outshine them, even though they usually feel unique. And this is where the problem here is in your pile. And that's why it's very hard for them to admit that you outshine them socially with the people around you. People just like you. They find you very interesting and unique. And this is what it is. And she has to learn, or he has to learn, that we'll always meet people that are better than us, and we'll meet people who might not be as blessed as we are. And it's part of life to accept that, to accept the blessings that we have and feel gratitude for them, just like you do here, and to be okay when people are better, because that's just life. You cannot be the best person in the world. And instead to be inspired by them and learn from them. And you can always take so much from the people you're inspired about and become a better version of yourself. And I feel like if they shift their mentality here, they would feel much better instead of giving you this attitude, because deep down they're really impressed. They can learn a thing or two. And for you, pile number 3, they are learning a thing or two. They're not admitting it, really, even though they're downright doing it. Being inspired and doing what you're doing in many different things. But to them, they still try to convince themselves that they are the ones that shine. They're so obsessed about that. They are the ones that shine. They're the ones that deserve this attention. They're much better than you in so many things. They have to take this attention. People just have to understand that they're the ones that have... Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry about that for them and for you. But deep down, pile number 3, believe it, just as everyone else is impressed by you, they too are very impressed about who you are as a person, the culture that you come with, your ideas, your routines. Everything about you seems, I want to say exotic, but not necessarily. It just seems so unique. Pile number 3. Most of all, on top of all that, they're very impressed with how you're perceived socially, how people are impressed with you. It's something that they want to claim back. They just don't understand why you're getting this much attention, because the attention you're getting, pile number 3, is even much bigger than the attention that they usually get, pile number 3. And this is why they're so focused with you here. Okay, so let's take a look at why they are genuinely impressed and why they're giving you an attitude, pile number 3. Whoa, you have the King of Pentacles. Unbelievable. So, pile number 3. With the King of Pentacles here, I feel like they feel that you are a lucky person. You have so much in your life as well. This is another layer that we're uncovering here. The more they get to know you, the more they get to realize that you have so much that they wish they could have. It's just that you don't talk that much, pile number 3. And they get to discover you and discover what you have and what you do and what you're capable of, the more they get to know you. And the more they get to know you, the more they are, unfortunately, shocked here. Because they realize just how much you have and how much you can do, how much richness there is to you, and it makes them even shocked, because as if what was on the outside wasn't enough. The more they get to know you, the more they feel smaller, unfortunately, in comparison to you. I think with you, pile number 3, this person is going to there's a card hanging up here. This person might end up admiring you, pile number 3. I think before they do that, they are going to go through a long phase of perhaps feeling depressed, feeling less than, a struggle, but there is a rainbow at the end of the rain, where they will feel like they are okay to admit it. They will become your friend, and they will start learning a lot from you, even though it might hurt their ego a lot in the beginning, trying to do that, pile number 3. As they get to know you more, or perhaps they're in this phase of getting to know you more, pile number 3, they get to realize just how reliable you are, how grounded you are, how much you're smart, you take action, how resourceful you are is coming across very strong as well. And all at the same time, you're supportive towards others. And with all these qualities, they're embodied in one big, generous heart. And so here I see a mixture of them being impressed by you. They realize just how much you do and how much effort it takes to be who you are, and the impressive person that you are. They realize it coming into your world and learning more about you. And the more they get to know about you, the more they are impressed. And they realize on top of that, you're a person who's giving, who's loving, who's supportive. And I think this is where things are going to turn here for you, pile number 4. From them giving you an attitude. You're the pile here where people will shift from giving you an attitude to eventually actually falling in love with who you are, pile number 3. Isn't that sweet? I really admire who you are, pile number 3. In fact, if you're pile number 3, please leave a butterfly down there. I would love to high five with you. I am impressed by you, pile number 3. They see that you get the job done, pile number 3. And there's more to it than that. They get into your world, they realize that you are quite organized. You are an action taker, very productive. Someone who takes care of everything in their lives. Everything looks pretty, neat, organized, put together. You give this air of cleanliness to you, is what I'm seeing. Well-groomed, you smell good. You take care of everything around you, including yourself and including your work. And that's the heart of the King of Pentacles here. And they will, as we said, transform. And that's why you have all these butterflies. They transform because of you. They transform out of watching you. In fact, you're going to be a key person in their lives, pile number 3, in turning who they are. And later on, they will embody so many of the things that you're already doing. They will later on take compliments because of it. And they will always remember that you were a unique person that they met in their lives, who shaped who they are at the time that they change and meet other people, pile number 3. So wow. And during this transition, I see you as being calm, cool, collected, very confident, and a very strong character who they're not really able to be down easily, pile number 4. Even when they do give you an attitude, you take it with a lot of grace, you're confident, and you're unbothered, really, really, really unbothered. You have this fun aura to you, positive aura to you, magnetic personality. And of course you drag a lot of attention because of that, a lot of attention because of that. even their attention, and they end up watching you and being impressed by you at the end of the day. Pile number 3. Whoa, the 7 of Wands ending up in your reading here as well. Pile number 3. So what I see here, what this person genuinely as well is impressed by you for, is that you have a strong character and you voice out your opinions confidently. You're not afraid to speak out, to call someone out if they... Ooh, you have a lot of rainbows here. We'll talk about that. To call someone out if they have done wrong to someone else or to the environment or something else. You're not afraid to speak up. Pile number 3. You're not afraid to say your opinion. If you feel like someone's being oppressed, or a certain group of people are being oppressed, or that something is just not going right, where most people would be a little reserved and wouldn't open it up because they don't want to stir up problems, specifically as well the person you are inquiring about, they watch you. Pile number 3, standing up for what is right confidently, speaking up your mind, and they realize that people actually respect you for it, where initially people are flabbergasted and like there are looks around the room and someone challenges your thoughts. You continue to speak your mind and to say what you think openly and honestly, displaying your point of view very clearly and why you think this is wrong. And at the end of the day, you get so much attention for it. You get so much respect. Sorry about that. Yeah, just like the noise here. You get a lot of attention for being bold and speaking out for what's right. And the reason you're respected is because when you speak out with strength and say your opinion confidently, people actually listen to the other side of the discussion, and they kind of see that you have a point. And even if they don't agree with you, pile number 3, they see your point of view. They see why you're standing up strong for what you're talking about, even if they may not agree, and they respect you for having the confidence and the boldness to speak up and say what you think is wrong. Even though you seem to be a graceful person and lovely, loving person, you do come out as strong, and you're not afraid to show who you are. You're not afraid to speak out your mind and your opinions, and you're greatly respected for it, pile number 3. And this is one of the things that truly makes this person very impressed about you. And pile number 3, I really do see why this person is very impressed about you. To be quite frank with you, I am very impressed by you as well. And if you were in my circle, I'd probably be observing you a lot. Pile number 3, and learning so much from you. So thank you for being this beam of life that you are. It is wonderful having you on my channel. Thank you for passing by. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 4. So you've chosen this really interesting and beautiful picture here. What I see for you, pile number 4, why this person is giving you an attitude but is genuinely impressed by you, is because of a combination of 2 things together. First of all, you come across as a very achieved person, a person who's a go-getter. You seem highly educated. You seem like someone who is capable of achieving so much in life, and in fact, it seems like you are, what's the word called? That you have a very high potential of achieving skyrocketing dreams than anyone can imagine. Along with that, you seem like a genuine person who's honest and has very high integrity. And because of your high integrity and your work ethics, you have a lot of people who highly respect you, whether in your social life or at work. People speak very highly of you. No one can imagine you doing anything that sounds ridiculous, because you seem like a genuinely balanced person who's poised, a person who works hard to achieve what they want, is pretty much in their lane, not afraid to talk, of course, confident, but at the same time, you don't gossip, you don't speak badly behind someone's back. You're quite a positive person. You keep things light. You're a deep person, and people fall in love with you quickly. See, with you, pile number 4, they might admire in the beginning your achievements and your integrity and your honesty and how poised you seem, but when people talk to you, they genuinely fall in love with who you are. You're a very deep person, very deep, very warm, very loving, but at the same time, you do not let a lot of people into your life. And this person is giving you an attitude because you seem like almost like a unicorn here, someone who's very hard to believe they exist. They compare themselves to your success, to you, to who you are as a person, because it seems like you're way ahead here with your education, your achievement, your cerebral thinking, your mind, and your depth, your honesty, your integrity. There is a lot of comparison here about your honesty in specific, because they are quite jealous of how honest you are. They compare themselves to your honesty. They know that you will always be doing the right, honest thing, and they don't want to admit that to themselves. So they first lie to themselves, try to convince themselves that they are on the right. And since things are very confused now, they don't know what's right and what's wrong anymore. And that's why they give you an attitude, because sometimes you'll be surprised that to see that they're actually convinced with their hate towards you, even though they're the ones that started and they're the ones who are causing troubles. But at the same time, internally, they do know that you're an honest person. They do know that you have a lot of integrity. They do know that people admire you for that. And this causes a lot of confusion for them, pile number 4. On top of all that, they have to deal with your achievement and how you're busy achieving big things in life, and how much they feel inferior to that, because unfortunately, they don't work on themselves. You see, pile number 4, the reason they admire this part in you is because you see there is a turbulent sea here, and even though there's a lot of turbulency, a lot of sharks here, perhaps a lot of troubles, you seem to keep things afloat. You work on your challenges. You have this person here holding their ship, making sure it sails safely and well. You're put together. You keep your life together by working constantly and honestly towards yourself and towards your goals. And deep down, they absolutely admire that about you and almost think it's fictional to have that sort of grasp on life like you do. Because if we're gonna talk about the person that I'm channeling here, it seems like the complete opposite. Unfortunately, I feel like they come across as a little bit messier, a little bit haphazard, a little bit dramatic, a little bit more perhaps on the fun side, but they don't have a grasp on their lives and they're not very honest. Pile number 4, and they truly feel like you're put together, you're on another area in life that they secretly want to be. Pile number 4. They feel like you have a lot of skills to you that allow you to get a grip of your life this way. Your education, your understanding of business perhaps, or understanding of your field. You know how to take care of yourself personally. Your relationships, pile number 4, seem deeper, seem more mature with other people. You seem to be surrounded by people, at least in your small circle, where there is mutual respect, mutual understanding. At least that's what you try to do. And they feel like this is an alien level of communication between people, and having this type of communication with others. And while they don't tell you, that's one of the things that truly impresses them about you and about your life in specific. How put together it is, how mature it is. And while you look in your pile number 4 quite young, and maybe you've achieved these things at a young age, it seems like you have your life put together, and it seems so hard for this person to do, nearly impossible to do for this person. And that's why there's a bit of an attitude here, a little bit of despise, a little bit of too much aligned to themselves, but deep down they genuinely admire you and are impressed by you, pile number 4. In fact, they feel like if they get your life, they wouldn't be able to keep it up like you. See, here, that's the thing, being able to do it. It's not what you have, it's who you are. And it's just something that they wish they can do, but they're not able to lose the things that makes them be who you are, and makes them feel proud of themselves. Perhaps they're not able to lose their rest time to educate themselves more or work hard. They're not able to lose their instant response, their instant reactions to things. They're not able to keep themselves calm. They're not able to be honest, even though they truly wish they were, because they'd rather have quick wins. It's all about quick wins with this person, pile number 4, that you're inquiring about. And that's mainly where they're falling off and why they're falling off in their life. It's the quick wins in everything. And this is why it seems nearly impossible for them to think or dream to be in your place and do the things that you're doing. And it's like watching something so amazing but not wanting to put in the work. Even if they get it, they don't want to continue putting in the work. They just wish it would happen magically to them. They wish they'd get the labels that you get, the social credit that you get, the social respect is the right word that you get, and how you have a grasp on your life, how you're able to save and do better things for yourselves, while they're out there spending perhaps too much, pile number 4. Yeah, I'm hearing too mature for your age, or perhaps you look very young and mature, pile number 4. All right, so we have 2 cards already. Let's see why they're giving you this attitude and why they feel impressed by you, pile number 4. Ooh, you have the Ace of Wands here. Yeah, a lot of action taking is one of the things that they truly are impressed with. Pile number 4, your achievement, your integrity, but action taking. Yes, remember when we said they're all about the quick wins. They watch you being able to delay gratification. And that's the key difference. One of the key the key difference between both of you in everything. When it comes to all your advantages in comparison to them, and why you've achieved so much in life, and why they look up to you so much secretly. And that is your ability to delay gratification, to not get the quick wins, to not put someone down just because it feels good at the moment to do it, but wait and keep your integrity and your honesty and take your rights in a more decent manner that gives you this poise and grace and elegance to you. Also, how you're able to start passionate big things because you know you're up to it. You have big dreams and you're not afraid. You're very bold. You go after them and you achieve them. And because of your boldness, even sometimes you stop in the middle and say, whoa, I've achieved all of that. Wow, even you yourself, you cannot believe it. Pile number 4. Imagine how they feel watching you do these things. It seems as well that you take good care of your health, in specific here, pile number 4. And this person doesn't take care of their health. I see here, they're genuinely impressed by how you look because you're capable of keeping yourself fit. You eat healthy food. Again, all have to do with delaying gratification, taking good care of yourself. They watch you make the right choices, pick the healthier options. Sometimes you treat yourself to dessert or the food that you like, but mostly, pile number 4, you take care of yourself so well. You take care of your health, your body. You may exercise. You eat healthy food. You start big projects. Do you see what I mean here? You are out there trying to make the best for yourself. You don't want anything less than seeing yourself the best version of who you are. Well, oh, do you see the comparison here? This is the first time for me to notice this on the back of these cards. While they feel like they're out there enjoying their time, and perhaps they have this wrong ideologies that are fostering the way they live. We have a short life. Let's make the best out of what we have. What if we die tomorrow? What is life but enjoying the best things in life? And it's a combination of too many wrong ideas, instant gratification, ego, so many things put together that is keeping them stuck in their shells. Because you know, here, this reminds me of the shells. Do you know, pile number 4, this is an interesting story here. This shows me the difference here between the both of you. Do you know how some shellfish, the animals, they swap shells? So at some point in their lives, they feel like they've outgrown their shells, and they go and swap, and they go and take a shell of another animal while they leave their shell to go and take on another bigger shell. And this is what you're constantly doing, outgrowing yourself constantly. And that's why they're genuinely impressed by you, but at the same time it fosters a lot of jealousy and anger and hate towards you. You growing and growing like that. And I don't know why they're so close to you. Perhaps they're family or an old friend. It's someone that has to be in your circle, and you're very decent. You're not just going to throw someone away, but you're starting to feel like the comparison is getting out of hand here, and they're not able to handle it. While they are standing in their place, not moving, not growing. And year by year, or as time goes by, the attitude becomes nastier. The way they treat you becomes worse. The hate becomes more apparent. And you think that they really hate you, pile number 4, or really despise you, or they genuinely don't want to talk to you. They give you this cold shoulder and they treat you like you don't even exist. But in reality, pile number 4, the truth of the matter is they think about you a lot. Obviously, they feel like you're now totally out of their league and your life is totally out of what they can achieve, and it's better for them to not just look at you, either to treat you in a nasty way or give you the cold shoulder, because it's becoming very hard to watch, pile number 4. So I'm sorry about that for you and for them. It's really about losing this instant gratification here. yeah, this even came in reverse. I haven't been doing reversals for a while, but this, I noticed it came in reversal, and it's showing you the difference between you and them here. Let me take out the noise. The key difference between both of you in this specific pile is balance. Your life is balanced. You're a balanced person, a balanced character. You're a person trying to do the right thing constantly, trying to balance between enjoying your life and working hard, trying to balance and grow by loving who you are, but at the same time taking the feedback and growing into a better person constantly. And that's why you have a lot of peace and positivity from their point of view in your life. And to be quite frank with you, pile number 4, whether you're in a good place or not, you are far more ahead than so many people with the way you think. And believe me, even though you may be going through some hardships, your balanced mind, even during dark times, keeps you afloat, believe me. And if you're going through a hard time, I don't know why I feel like I have to say this here, for some of you, you are going to get out of it. I promise you, very soon there's going to be balance. The light is going to come out for you, and specifically that's what I'm channeling here for you. Other than that, for the rest of you, you live a pretty balanced life. You have balanced emotions, and that's why poised comes out very strong here for you. And the person you're inquiring about genuinely doesn't think that they can imagine doing what you're doing, because they don't want to. They want to get your results, but they don't want to put in the effort. To them, you're just like that, balancing on thin thread. That's from their point of view. To you, you understand the benefits that come out of hard work, putting in the effort, delaying gratification a little bit, because the rewards are just so fulfilling to you. And you would rather wait a little bit to get what you want. And that's the key difference here. So to you, you're not really walking on thin thread. To you, you're enjoying the process because you love getting the results. You know you're going to get it, and you felt it so many times. You felt what it's like to achieve things and have the best things in life so many times that you are willing to stick to it and enjoy the process. Actually, to you, is not really that much of suffering. Because pile number 4, on the outside, when we're not tackling the things that we need to tackle, let me show it to you from their other side. It seems impossible to you. It seems like it's such a big burden, like something impossible to think about, to even begin to start. But when you do actually start it and work on it, you do realize that it wasn't as bad as you thought it was. From the perspective of you sitting on the couch. So it's that little blind spot that they really have here that I wish and truly feel they would understand, so that they can change themselves too. And that's why they see you with the thin thread here. While to you, this is not the case. It's just a little bit of, not a little bit, a lot of hard work, putting in what needs to get done, being who you believe you should be, and that's why you think highly of yourself. Pile number 4. Sorry about that, pile number 4, a little bit, I had a little bit of a camera problem here. Okay, so you have the Queen of Cups here. Yes, okay. Ooh. So pile number 4, this person that you're inquiring about actually has a lot of love for you. Surprise, surprise. Save the best for last. I wasn't expecting that. So perhaps the confusion here is because there is a dearness in this connection. That's why there's a lot of confusion. They're not capable of balancing things out so that they keep this dear connection. But when you're away, when you cut them off, and when you're not in communication, pile number 4, they feel very sad. So like we said in the beginning, this could be perhaps an old friend. family member, a sibling. By the way, pile number 4, this is someone who actually loves you. They're just not capable of watching you rise the way they do, the comparisons that happen between the both of you socially, how people see you versus how people see them is one of the main reasons as well why they're giving you an attitude. But deep inside their heart, pile number 4, this specific pile here is the only pile where the person who's giving them an attitude genuinely has a lot of love for them. Believe it or not, pile number 4. When they're alone and when you're not there anymore and you moved on, they ache thinking about you. They ache thinking about the relationship, what it could have been, what it could be. But at the same time, really, there's nothing they can do about it because they cannot handle who you're becoming. Pile number 4, just like the shells here that we discussed in your reading. You're just constantly outgrowing themselves. They feel small, and it's just not like before. Well, before it was a little bit apparent but livable. Now the differences have become too big, and it's very hard for this person, pile number 4, to really keep up. So pile number 4, despite all of that, kudos to you. I have a lot of respect for who you are as a person. I truly admire, and it was an honor for me to do this reading for you. Thank you for visiting my channel and staying around. It was my absolute pleasure being the person to do this reading for you. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye!